Welcome to the section where we're going to be talking about automated customer engagement. It's really important to make sure that you're staying in front of people. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy or obtrusive, but they at least need to know that you're there, at least every once in a while. We can actually leverage this in a couple of ways, and so that's why in the first video, we're actually going to be talking about asking for testimonials automatically. In the previous section, we looked at building a customer satisfaction survey. If someone says they're happy, it's very easy to add an extension to that where we're saying, great, we're glad you're happy, give us a testimonial. This will create a steady stream of basically raw content that you can use everywhere. And testimonials are some of the best social proof. So when you ask for them automatically, you're feeding the machine of your business, which needs content. To live and grow, the food that a business eats is, it's content, and this is going to help you automatically produce it. Now that's kind of self-serving a little bit, asking for testimonials. So in the next video after that, we're going to look at setting up a birthday collection mechanism. Everybody's birthday is very special, and we want to acknowledge that, but to do that in the first place, we have to collect it. And again, this is something we can do automatically, really at any point in the customer journey. And so I'm going to show you how to set up a mechanism to automatically collect somebody's birthday. And then we're going to close out this section by building automated happy birthday messages. So once we've collected somebody's birthday, cool. Let's at least do something simple and schedule a happy birthday message that goes out every year. There's many more things you can do when you know somebody's birthday. But let's at least do something nice and say happy birthday. And what's neat about this, if you take a step back a little bit, and see the forest instead of just the trees, really it's a date collection mechanism that we're talking about. So you can collect an anniversary date, which is actually a field on the contact record if you were, for example, a marriage counselor and you wanted to celebrate that. Or if your business was somehow evolved around, weddings or anniversaries. You can collect, the dates that children have been born or animals or really any date that you want to collect. I'm going to show you how to do that. In this video, we're going to look at asking for testimonials automatically. Social proof is one of the most persuasive tools for marketing. When potential customers can read about another customer's experience in their own words, it greatly increases trust in our products or services. Having a system to automatically ask for testimonials can provide us with a steady stream of social proof that can be used throughout our marketing efforts. So in this video, we're going to look at the automation model we can use, configuring the testimonial form, and writing the invitation emails. We're going to start by laying out the model, which is going to start with a tag being applied. We will have our testimonial request sequence, and then the actual testimonial collection form. So this is our model. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to configure this tag goal. Now, I forgot to mention it, but this is assuming we've already created a functional tag for this purpose. So we have an ask for testimonial tag. And that's what's going to start this off. Because we're going to be linking to this form from within these emails, we're going to go ahead and configure the form first. First thing we need to do is get rid of any fields that might be there. And all we need is a hidden email field. Now we're going to provide a little bit of context for the person who is here. So you can provide your testimonial below. So in the field snippets, we're going to grab an other field. And at the very bottom of this list, there is an append to person notes. And then for the label, we're going to go ahead and change this to be write your testimonial. And of course, this is required because it's the only actual visible field on the form. There you go. And now we're going to change the submit button . Okay, so again, really basic. straightforward form here. And then on our thank you page, we just want to thank them. Thanks for your testimonial. There you go. So at this point, we can go ahead and mark this form as ready to go. And to link to it from within these emails, this has to be published at least once. So we're going to go ahead and publish this campaign here. So now that this form is live, we can link to it from within the emails. So let's build our emails now. So in this sequence, we're going to have one email for the testimonial request 1. Then we'll have a delay. And then we'll have our second email. So let's go ahead and write this first one. So in this case, this is going to be almost a transactional little email here. So share your experience, first name. So we can say something like, first off, thanks for being one of our valued customers. One of the best ways for us to continually let's refresh this screen, see what happened here. First off, thanks for being one of our valued customers. One of the best ways for us to continually, can't spell today, to continually provide better and better service is through customer feedback. Which is why I want to quickly ask you, would you be open to sharing a testimonial about your experience? Not only do testimonials help us understand what works and what doesn't work, it's also a great way for others to get a feel for what it's like to be one of our customers. And then we'll give them the call to action. So click here to share your quick testimonial, and then, have a great whatever day of the week. We'll sign off as the person's owner. And we'll make sure the email is coming from the owner too. So now that the email is written, we just have to link to the testimonial form. So we're going to highlight this because that's our call to action. And this is going to go directly to the web form that we just published. So it should be right there at the top of the list there. And there you go. So now we can go ahead and mark this particular email as ready. We're going to go to this delay timer here, and we're going to configure this to run for a week, and then run on the weekday at 8 a.m. in the context time zone. So since this second email is very similar to this first one, we're just going to go ahead and right-click and make a clone of this real quick, save ourselves some time. Because as you'll see, it's basically the exact same. So we can say something like, reminder, I'd love to hear about your experience. So, love to hear about your experience. So in this case, we can actually start the email off with a good morning, because we know this is going to go out in the morning. So good morning, contact first name. Thanks again for being one of our valued customers. And about a week ago, I shared that one of the best ways to provide better feedback, blah, 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 same thing. And we'll change this a little bit. Remember, testimonials helps understand what works, it doesn't work. And it's also a great way to get a feel. So this should still be configured to the same link as before. We'll just double check it, and it is. We're good. And that's it. So again, just a little follow-up reminder email, basically the exact same as the last one. And for good measure, let's go ahead and we'll put a delay timer here for a week to give them time to respond. Generally a good recommended practice. And at this point, we can go ahead and publish our campaign and it's ready to go. So now, when another campaign applies the functional starting tag, the customer receives 2 emails asking for a testimonial. And if someone provides a testimonial from the first email, the second request email will not be delivered. There's a couple different things that we can do here. This field is going to be appended right into the person notes section of the contact record. If you wanted to, you could create your own custom text area field, which would basically look the exact same, except it would put the data in an actual field on the record, not just the text-based person notes. Another thing that we can do here is we can add a checkbox so people can opt out of having their testimonial published. So we can say something like, please do not use my testimonial in advertisements, something like that. And then what we would want to do for the model is actually segment based on that. So we can say something like, allowed to use testimonial, and then not allowed to use. And our decision node can be based on if that checkbox is actually checked or not. Another thing to be aware of is we just used a web form. If you want, for a richer experience, you can use a full-blown landing page. And that way you have a little more control over the design. It also will be mobile responsive. And one last thing to remember is that instead of providing a dead end on the form submission, use this to drive your customers somewhere else. Especially since they just provided us with a testimonial. So we could say something like, as a token of appreciation, please use promo code, happy, for, 10% off your next purchase or something like that. And then, of course, you would want to have this link right back to your shopping cart. And, of course, that's just an example. You could drive them to your blog or to request a consult, something like that. Now, one last thing to be aware of is that out of the box, if you build it as we've done in this video, it's only going to ask for the testimonial once, unless that functional tag is automatically removed. And if you were to automatically remove that functional tag, it means that another campaign could trigger this sequence again in the future. So depending on how your customer experiences, you may want to be able to ask for testimonials multiple times, or you may just want to ask for it once in that person's lifetime. In our next video, we're going to look at setting up a birthday collection mechanism.